Hey everybody, welcome back to Chicago Reacts. My name is Michael. I'm an actor here in the city of Chicago, and I'm joined by the ever-brilliant, the always talented, the one, the only.
Oh, that's gotta be me.
Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you.
Zach, also an actor here in Chicago, soon to be worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, we are doing it as actors. We have to do our due diligence and check in on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case. We're coming at this probably a little later than most, but definitely still cool and fun to give our own input on the situation. And
so this is the I Did Not Punch You, I Was Hitting You recording between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard by Law and Crime. So we were checking this out. Have you been keeping up with it at all?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen like snippets here and there, but I haven't like really watched big chunks of it.
Yeah,
so
I've seen like the compilation where it's him talking with the Wii menu music playing over it.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's funny. It's a good time. So indulge in some drama with us. If you like the video, like it, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and check out the description where we've got links to a ton of fun, different stuff that we do and our sister channels and all that fun stuff. So, all right,
check it out.
I didn't punch you, Mike. I was hitting you.
And for the record, this is an audio recording, and it's quite lengthy, so we intend to play certain portions of it.
Okay. Any objection?
No objection, other than we'd just like to know what minute, second portions they're going to play.
Okay, but the entire audio is in evidence, correct?
Yes, sir.
And no objection? Okay. All right,
And
343 in evidence.
If you'd like me to read the specific minutes now, or we can provide it to council afterwards.
Hey, if you want it now, or as you go, or, okay.
Amber Heard just makes me angry looking at her. There's something about her just genuine
37 seconds through 26
demeanor throughout this whole thing. It just kind of hurts
1
me a
hour
little
and
bit.
57 minutes, 21 seconds through 1 hour, 58 minutes, 54 seconds. 2 hours, 38 minutes, 52 seconds through, excuse me.
That's a
2
long
hours, 38,
recording.
52 seconds through 2 hours, 39 minutes, 43 seconds. And then 2 hours, 46 minutes, 1 second through 2 hours, 47 minutes, 20 seconds. Those are 4 clips.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want to publish that to the jury?
Wow, this is the whole uncut. We're getting all of it.
It is interesting. One of the things that I've heard is like, oh, it seems like Amber Heard's lawyers are not prepared or unprofessional. It's interesting, like hearing the judge check in and be like, "Do you have any objection?"
Yeah, no, oh my god,
almost like she's waiting for the judge is waiting for an objection or like waiting for something to come. It's just like, really, you're not gonna.
I think that was the first video that kind of went viral from this whole thing, was the one where the guy was just objecting as hearsay to everything that Johnny Depp was saying. So Johnny Depp like couldn't even talk because he was, every other word out of his mouth was objection, hearsay. It's embarrassing how this but it's a very unique and interesting insight into our criminal justice system. That's for sure.
It's definitely it's interesting the amount of the spotlight that's on this. I don't know.
It's kind of like unlike anything we've ever seen. And you know, there have been similar examples of this, but I think the most incredible thing is how poorly Amber Heard's evidence is actually in support of her, and how her evidence has actually done the contrary. And it's amazing that her legal team didn't pick up on any of that, like just oblivious to it.
Didn't seem prepared to argue any of it.
Yep. So,
yeah.
But that was a really long recording. 2 hours and 30 something. Like, what were they recording? Jeez. Look at these two souls.
is okay. That's the promise you gave me a little while ago. I'm telling you, if you lost memory last night of kicking me out the door with the fucker hitting me,
Again,
and your memory is gone from you kicking the bathroom door and hitting me in the skull as I was bent down.
I am
Wait,
sorry.
if you have those memory fucking divots.
I was upset. There was a lot going on, and I was on an Ambien.
Okay,
like, why are you obsessing over the fact that I can't remember it the way you remembered it? I said I was sorry. I didn't deny it.
That. I'm not talking about that. What I want.
What is that recording from?
Sounds like like they're having an argument.
Yeah, like someone was recording. Weird.
I mean, if they were having a lot of trouble, which it sounds like they were, they both may have been encouraged to record their conversations.
Yeah.
Unless they're talking on the phone, but even then, that wouldn't have been recorded.
No, it's not to get you mad. It's just to get out of a bad situation while it's happening before it gets worse. In Australia, when we had the big fight where I lost the tip of my finger, at least 5 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms I went to. To
avoid talking to me, to avoid
escape
working it out. That's
to escape the fight.
You don't escape the fight. You escape the solution.
No.
You escape the solution.
No.
You escape figuring it out. We cannot work it out if you run away to the bathroom every time.
Listen to me. Listen to me. A boxer can't go 12 rounds without a fucking minute break.
I'm not giving you a minute break. You do it at minute 3 at the beginning of an argument.
No. There are rounds, man. And when it gets too fucking hairy, the ref splits them apart or whatever. But all I'm saying is, you can't have a solution if the argument just keeps mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting. I fucking go into the bathroom and sit on the floor. Bam, bam, bam. Here you come. I come out. Fight, crazy, escalated. I go split again, I go to another fucking bathroom or a bedroom or something. Knock, 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 bang, bang, bang. You kept coming to get me.
It's like, it's hard when you don't even know like what the context of the argument itself was, like how it kept.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can see, like, I guess it's hard when like what is the argument about? What is the context of the argument? And also, like, I think I can see where obviously if you're fighting and you're hitting this like sort of peak, you need to be able to break from each other. But I also can see, and I can see where, like, if you're trying to manipulate somebody, staying on them,
right, while they're
creating an environment where they feel they have to react, they have to make a decision, is a tactic used to manipulate people and to control people. On the other hand, like, I feel like there's a pressure in relationships to, like, we're going to sit down and we're going to figure it out. And that looks different to different people. I mean, if you had parents who yelled at each other and maybe dealt with things in a toxic way, you may be going, well, this is normal to behave this way when it's really not healthy, or, so I feel like that clip in itself is a bit hard to, like,
pinpoint, like,
I mean, obviously it's, but it also doesn't sound like Yeah, I mean, again, it just sounds like two people coming from different places.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know that like. Yeah.
All of the evidence that I've seen and heard and have seen be discussed, though, these are two very damaged individuals, in very different ways. But so there is an insurmountable amount of evidence to suggest that Amber Heard was dealing with a more outright set of demons that were, I think, dangerous to the other person. Johnny Depp's demons, I think, were very, very personal demons of Johnny Depp, whereas Amber Heard's were the ones that manifested themselves to create what it is that we're seeing today. I mean, God, does Johnny Depp look tired? And God, does Amber Heard look like she's trying to win an argument that she's had with him for the past 10 years? Like, it's just, and it's hard too, because these are two brilliant actors and performers. So you don't know entirely of what is, what's being portrayed in terms of their actions while on the stand or while in their chair at the defendant's table. But it just the whole thing is a mess. The whole thing is a mess from both sides. I will say right off the bat, I sympathize with Johnny Depp infinitely more so than I do Amber Heard. I think Amber Heard needs a lot of help. I think they both do. But to me, Amber Heard was the more dangerous one because she's not just dangerous to herself, but the level of manipulation that she was willing to go and extort Johnny Depp for, not only financially, but psychologically, emotionally, is just on another level that I'm just, even in my experiences of going into psychology and psychiatry, I've never seen it to this extent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like I have a very hard time picking a side because I don't know, it just seems like so personal and so intimate. Obviously, it's now on trial.
But it wasn't because of what Amber Heard said about Johnny Depp.
Well, yeah, it became
derailed his career.
It became, yeah.
Right.
That's actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It could have been something that they dealt with privately, and then she made it something that she's gonna.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, like even down to like some of the evidence that just come out during this case. Like, I don't know if you heard the thing I did. My dad was telling me about something where, and then I ended up watching the clip where they talk about like in their divorce agreements, like how much money Johnny Depp actually ended up giving Amber Heard. That was like, and Amber Heard made him pay all the taxes on the money, and so much of it was supposed to be donated to a charity, and only like it was like 20% of what she actually had promised to donate was actually donated by Amber. It's really bad. It just does not look good for Amber Heard. She backed herself into a corner, and every piece of evidence that was presented just put her further and further in this corner where it's like you can't help but side with Johnny Depp because Amber Heard's so bad. It's not one of those cases where it's been very like equal in terms of like, oh, it's bad for both, or it's the pain is equal for both sides because you see it manifesting this way for her and this way for him. This case has just been horrible for her.
Yeah, that's definitely like the vibe that I've gotten is it's gone really poorly for her, but I don't know much of the specifics, so it's interesting to like get into it and see like, yeah, there definitely is like just there is a almost defensiveness, I feel, like looking at the video of Amber, of just like very like sort of controlled, very like and yeah, Johnny just seems
tired. He just looks exhausted. This man, and some of the yeah,
it's real. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, that's just me looking at it. But like, again, I don't know. There's something interesting I have about.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't think I would want to be in the jury on this case. I think it would be tough.
No.
Especially with the spotlight on it.
Yeah, no, no way. No way would I want to be in the jury.
And there's it's really interesting.
Oh, God.
All right, so we've heard 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the one who fucking throws fucking pots and
Those are different. That's different.
fucking else at me.
That's different. That's one does not negate the other. That's irrelevant. It's a complete non sequitur. Just because I've thrown pots and pans does not mean that you come and knock on the door. Just because there are vases does not mean that you come and knock on the door.
Really, I should just let you throw.
I'm not saying that. You're saying that. You're putting words in my mouth and then making non
I'm
sequiturs.
giving you a situation.
No, you're trying to justify how you don't or do come to the door
No,
based
I'm
on whether I throw
justifying-
pots and pans. It's irrelevant.
No, I'm justifying how you seem to think that there's this cowardice in me that runs away and I don't fight for you.
And you're justifying that by saying I throw pots and pans? Okay, cool. Let's
No.
talk about everything you do wrong.
I'm not the one who.
Okay, that does change.
That was
I mean, if somebody is so angry that they're throwing pots and pans,
Right, that's
you have
not
to
a safe environment
Cool,
for-
I'm gonna excuse myself from this
Yeah,
dangerous environment so we can both calm down and actually have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Like,
And Amber Heard has been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder.
oh, I didn't know that.
So that's been a huge part of this too. They had a psychiatrist come on and speak, and there was a second disorder that was also discussed that she had diagnosed her as, but that's not safe to be in for you or the other person. If a situation has escalated to that point where one of the two parties is starting to throw objects at the other person. It gets to the point where even in Amber's dreams, what she wants is like not achievable in that moment when you're dealing with somebody that has a disorder and is having an outburst to that extent.
And that thing of like, I want to solve it, or like, you know, he said, I want, like, it's not that I don't want to fight for you. It's like, well, if you're that angry, the only thing that's going to like end that is for them to do exactly what you say.
Right.
Like if you're that worked up. So there's no like, that's not really a state where you compromise.
Right.
Because you're
and
so
then,
upset. Like,
right. And then you can't in that moment 100% compromise in favor of the other person, because then when that compromise inevitably falls through, even in the smallest extent, now the other person, in this case Amber Heard, can turn around and call you a liar. Mm-hmm. So and then which leads to a whole nother fight. So it's this endless cycle of I just wish Johnny had the mental strength and courage to find a way to step away. I think for both of their sakes. You know?
Yeah, I guess knowing a little bit more and you talking about how Amber was the one to sort of bring it into the spotlight. Mm-hmm. I mean, it sounds like he tried to eventually and tried to be.
Yeah. And Johnny Depp, he was heard as testifying at one point that, you know, he in his mind, he still loved her. He loves her. That's the problem too when you get to psychological disorders of that extent in relationships. But he was quoted as saying, like, part of me wanted to save her, and that's why I stayed. And it just gets really complicated when you start introducing psychological disorders and of that magnitude and extent into a relationship that's already very passion filled, and you have two individuals too with a lot of resources and money and influence and
well, and if that person is acknowledging it and getting help, it's one thing, and if it's a lot harder when
Amber Heard clearly just denies everything, It's anytime anybody's presented her with help, she is instantly thrown it away by virtue of some sort of excuse or, well, you did this. Amber Heard has played the blame game 100% of the way through this.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got one more, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said to Travis, I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
You told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the fucking thing. And
you figured it out.
And you said, no, fuck it.
Yeah, I've heard this. I've heard this.
And I watched you lie. And then
I didn't punch you, by the way. I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights. You've been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a close.
You didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are you?
What am I supposed to do? Do this? I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
Because you start.
You are such a baby. Grow the fuck up,
because
Johnny.
You start physical fights.
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get the fuck out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You are admirable.
Mr. Depp, could you please explain to the jury what they just heard on those audio recordings?
What was just played on the audio recordings was very much the tone and the aggression and the attitude and the need for a fight from Ms. Heard. That was, I don't know if that was some need for attention, but that was a sound that I had gotten very used to. The squabbling, the raising of the voice to essentially excommunicate anything that I had to say about the situation. But then, and I do remember that incident. I believe that's from the when I was in the bathroom, and I was in fact taking a shower, and this was in Penthouse 3, and she came banging on the door, banging on the door, banging on the door. I didn't answer. I was in the shower. I couldn't deal with it. I didn't want to deal with any more of that sarcastic, demeaning, aggressive, violent, toxic spew. And so I was taking a shower and I didn't want to answer the door. She kept banging. And then I finally got out of the shower and I opened the bathroom door about just that much, just so I could have a good hold on the door in case she tried to burst in.
And I was right, she did. Bathroom doors go in. She was pushing all her weight on the door, trying to get in. And I was pushing back because I didn't want to let her in, because I obviously didn't want the confrontation. She was not in the best of moods, you can hear. So when I was pushing the bathroom door, trying to close it, and was almost closed, she suddenly kind of yelped in pain. And she screamed out, "Ow, my toes or my foot or something." And so in that second, I thought possibly her foot had gotten caught under the door, which would, of course, not feel great on the foot or the toes, so I thought she was maybe injured. So I knelt down to have a look. The door was still, it was still pretty well about that much open. And when I knelt down on my hands and knees to look at her foot to see the injury, she kicked the bathroom door into my head. She kicked the bathroom door into my head, and I was completely taken aback by such a corrosive, horrific move. So I stood up, and I believe I stood up, and at this point the door was open. I stood up and I said, I think I said, "What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?" And the next move was just a bang, and she clocked me in the jaw. And that was another shocker.
How long after that did you start recording?
Sorry?
How long after that did you start recording that audio recording that we just heard?
That audio recording was about her trying to make less of what had happened. In fact, trying to make less of what had happened by repeating some story to me that didn't make any sense, and it certainly didn't make any sense since I was there and I was the target. So I wanted some confirmation from someone with some semblance of a mind that could understand what was happening. I wanted Mr. McGivern to come up, and I asked her to tell him what had just happened. And her answer was essentially, "I don't know what he's talking about. Nothing happened. He's fine." And once again, I told Mr. McGivern, time to leave the premises.
Juicy stuff.
Yeah.
So that doesn't even break the surface of this. Like, yeah, there was a story where Amber heard shit on his side of the bed one morning. Yeah, literally took a shit on her side of the bed one day. So he woke up with shit next to him. Yeah. And Johnny Depp was actually in a band called the Hollywood Vampires.
Mm-hmm.
And when that glass incident in Australia that literally destroyed his whole... I don't remember which hand it was on, but like literally destroyed his ability to play the guitar now. Yeah, I mean, there are some like just horrible stories that like you that have come up from this case, the little snippets and stuff, where it's like, oh my God, you couldn't make this stuff up in a movie. It's like, it sounds like just straight drama, but it's like, oh my God, with this woman, a lot of it really, really, really appears to be the truth. And again, not saying that Johnny Depp is in any way an angel or, but you know, it's just really hard to follow this case at all and to not understand how damning this is to Amber, and just how horribly one-sided the whole case really seems.
Yeah, it's really interesting to hear more of it, and just, I mean, that whole situation, like, I can't imagine, like, I've never had an experience like that. I mean, it definitely I guess it feels similar to like arguments I've had in like a toxic relationship in the past, but like,
Same.
but nothing. Yeah, and again, it's like, yeah, I think it's makes it seem like Amber obviously had things going on, mental health, things that she needed to get more support for. And yeah, that seems really unhealthy. Yeah, that, I guess, yeah, that looks pretty bad.
Yeah, that's the one. I think the main takeaway that I hope that the world takes away from this whole court case, and honestly, that I would probably be willing to bet that Johnny Depp ultimately wanted too out of this case against Amber Heard. And the reason why he did sue for defamation is I think that by some of this stuff coming up, I'm hoping that and I'm sure that Johnny's hoping that this might somewhere, someday prevent somebody from getting themselves into a similar situation.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
there, I think that there is some, you cannot deny it, but there is something that people feel when they see people of influence. You know, when they see Captain Jack Sparrow sitting and confessing on the stand, talking about his relationship demons, I think that people, it resonates with people in a different way that wouldn't necessarily be possible through other means or through other people. So I hope that at the end of the day, yes, there is some semblance of good influence that gets taken from this whole ordeal that's happening with this case and the media, discussion of it. I hope that something good ultimately does come for it. And it's really all I've got to say.
Yeah.
Kind of when all is said and done.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, yeah, you should always, if you are in a relationship where you feel physically in danger on any sort of, on multiple occurrences, please consider seeking help. And I think also just seeking mental health care is really
huge.
Important. So
absolutely huge.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm in therapy. It's lovely. So I suggest it. Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing that the one I think quote that's really going to resonate so much throughout this case is there is a recording that was originally, I think it was presented as a defense piece for Heard, and it said that like it's basically towards the very end of the relationship when Johnny was threatening to leave, and Amber Heard said, "Yeah, go out there, Johnny. Go out there and tell everybody that you were abused by a woman. No one will believe you."
Yeah.
Like admit, like you're such a baby. You're not a man. And Johnny Depp, and like the last thing you hear is Johnny Depp where he says like, "No, I am a man and I was abused, and that's okay. And I'm admitting it now." And
I have heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, it's just really intense. I mean, I can see why people are curious about it, interested in it. It is that like. Yeah, there is, but I'm sure that's why people like it. But that uncomfortability of like, man, this feels so private and so
right.
Right. But yeah, I mean that I don't know. Even when you're like, oh, I didn't punch you, I just hit you. like the semantics of that, like I don't know that matters.
It doesn't.
Like,
it doesn't work in anybody's. In literally anybody's favor. It's just like a horrible thing to say. Literally in that entire statement, you are literally taking away everything that Johnny Depp is feeling, and in that moment is very valid for him. Yeah. But you are also downplaying your actions and how toxic and horrible that they can be towards yourself, towards John. It's just, and even in some of Amber's tapes where she's saying like, oh, well, I was on an Ambien and you should have known this. And so much of what came up earlier was Johnny Depp and his drug addiction. And Amber always blaming Johnny for blaming the drugs or for being a drug addict. And yet here she is making the same excuse as him, but when he makes it, it's wrong. But when she does, there's just such a lack of emotional, social understanding, accountability.
Yeah. Well, that was a bit of a heavy one.
It was, guys.
Thanks for tuning in and watching our reaction to that in the moment. I know there's a bunch of buzz going around it. So, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section down below. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything else, and check out those links in the description so you can stay up to date with all that we are doing.
Yeah, all of our happy, fun, good stuff.
Yeah,
no sad stuff.
With that said, I think we'll see you next time
on Chicago Reacts.